Welcome everybody. Court B, Lee Westwood Sports Centre, the Optegra Championship. The Optegra Premiership, what am I saying? We're about to see West Bromwich Albion versus Middlesbrough. It's Lee Westwood speaking, and I'm delighted to be joined by Dean Williams.
Hello everybody, hello Nick.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. So we've got a top of the table versus bottom of the table clash. We just had Leeds win, I think their 6th game with one loss. So they're at the top of the table, putting pressure on everybody else. People need to keep delivering results, so West Brom need a win out of this, and actually a big win. Those who are winning are putting a lot of goals in, so goal difference being a thing as well.
And on paper, this would be a certain prediction, but it's not, as we know, it's not played on paper.
So often Chris would have the goalie's jersey on. He hasn't today.
Yeah, that's interesting. First thing
playing in the middle. Yeah. So we'll do the teams quickly. We've got Goldsborough, ex-McNichol, currently between the posts for Middlesbrough. Hanif on the right. Renton on the left. And found in the keeper's shirt. Couldn't find found him. Bates on the right for West Brom facing us. Gordon in the middle. Kelsall on the left. Oh, what a shot from Bates.
Some goal.
And Christa in goal for West Brom. Sorry, yeah, I mean, we need to comment on that goal, don't we? Fabulous finish from Bates.
Yeah, that's
fantastic power and accuracy.
The accuracy between two players, amazing. That's one hell of a start.
Yeah, so making it very difficult for Middlesbrough already.
Not what they wanted.
No. Really, although Kath, number 7 for Middlesbrough, is extremely experienced, otherwise quite a young team.
Yeah.
Renton on the left, kind of only recently a regular into the Nationals, but she will have played for a few seasons on occasional weekends. Hanif more regular, and found to work hard. I mean, the pace the West Brom guys are hitting the ball, making it so hard to read and move.
Respect to the comment about the youth within Middlesbrough. It's one of the things they do extremely well. They will invest in youth, give them opportunity, and of course last season served them very well coming from the Championship. So they will feel that, you know, this will be very different level, and also perhaps at times a bit of a baptism of fire, but they still back them and coach them very well.
Thought it was going to be a clash there with neither player seeing each other, but I read it. So while I've got you, Dean, been some fabulous social media news recently about the accolades coming the Wheelchair Football Association's way as an organisation, offering disability opportunities, some of the individuals within the sport.
Yeah, which is great to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful to see, and you know, fair play. I'm sure it's been said by other people already. If it hasn't, it will be said by me now. Chris Gordon to be inducted to the Hall of Fame at West Brom. What an incredible personal achievement for Chris. But again, no. I mean, we say about this thing's not a surprise. I mean, it's an absolute honour, isn't it? But you can see why that's happened. What he's given to the sport, and also, I think he's 5 Premiership trophies in.
Yeah.
Incredible success. Well done, Chris. And for us, we didn't win the award, but we became nominated for an inspiration award by the Variety Children's Charity, which is very touching to have been in the frame on that, and to be the only organisation association that was named in that as well. So, you know, everyone deserves an awful lot of credit for doing that. very precise. Got to be right.
Natural ashes. Nudged the ball. Oh, I thought she was going to reset it, but that was a touch, wasn't it?
I think, yeah. So I saw that before, actually, from somebody else few weekends ago. I think it was last season, where same kind of rule, really. Even by mistake, if you touch it, you can't go back and address that.
Now, I know on the podcast there's been some talk about hair. We had a little chat about hats earlier on the players. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Santa hat on a line person.
Oh, there you go. And sporting some elf-like socks as well.
Couldn't ask for more at this Christmas weekend.
I like that. It shows a little bit of character coming in. No, the what are Ryan and Alex calling it? Power hair, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not exclusively to the Championship. The Championship seems to bring out an awful lot of colours.
Bates moving in very quickly. Brad Bates back with West Brom this season, having been with Aspire, winning Championship, Cup and European Championship.
Yeah. No, Cup was West Brom.
Was it?
Yeah, we must correct that.
Oh no, I meant the previous year, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
yes, I think.
Yeah.
So I think in the time he was with Aspire.
But Brad
which I think was
definitely
2 years.
from last season to be in that position where they won the Champions League. That was their trophy, wasn't it, last season? So I would have said, in my relatively early stage in the sport, that was a surprise going into the leaving Aspire. But actually, I don't think a surprise to other people when he rejoined West Brom. Chris Gordon finished that move off beautifully, by the way. 2-0 to the advantage. This looks very difficult for Middlesbrough now. I think when they click, Brad, Dylan and Chris, it's quite hard to stop, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's the pace, and both the pace of the ball and the accuracy.
Yeah.
Just, it's almost like a physical presence in its own right, isn't it? The pressure it puts on. I don't know whether I'm misreading, but you almost can see the anxiety in the defender's eyes. Oh, they're still at me. Oh, I've put it out. It's back at me again.
Yeah.
Give me some space.
So you put that into perspective, and it's quite an interesting one, isn't it, to measure, because that's Middlesbrough second last year in the Championship, and then you've got the league winners, the double winners of last year. The gulf, it's pronounced, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we all know there's a difference, and that's a lovely feint by Brad Bates.
And in a way, the pleasing thing is, put these Championship teams in many other leagues internationally.
Yes.
And they'll more than hold their own at any level.
Well, absolutely, Nick, and I think
like you say, that gulf, and even just one or two players moving across teams make that difference.
Yeah, of course they do.
Great save from Gouldsborough there. I've known Kath for so long, I'm finding it difficult to say Gouldsborough rather than McNichol, right. But I'm sure she'll forgive me.
But we must.
Yeah.
We must. That's Brad done for a little while, 10 minutes.
Yeah, really strong bench as well. West Brom have got.
Yes.
So we went through the team. Sorry, we didn't do the benches at the time. So Gilbert, who's just come on for Bates.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say Innes, and I can't see on the far left. I don't know if you can get that. It'll be in my app. I can have a check. And I can't see the Middlesbrough bench either.
Yeah, the app will be better than my eyesight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very strong, aren't they? Interesting one. I mean, obviously he's on the other pitch. He is, yeah, Greenback playing. And they lost Marcus Harrison. You're thinking, okay, what happens to West Brom from there? But obviously the acquisition of Bates going back to the club has made a massive difference.
Yeah. So the subs, Thomas Pettigrew must be over the far side for Middlesbrough, and for West Brom, Ollie Rock, Barrisinel, Matt Gilbert was the sub. He's now come on for Brad Bates.
Yeah. We've definitely seen, I think, this in the first 2 game weeks, and it's very apparent again now. Dylan Kelsall playing more of a role for West Brom. Obviously, bags of talent from Dylan, and he's getting more opportunity because of the transfers that happened in the summer, I think, as well. So he's definitely coming into the fore, isn't he, in this team?
There was there was mentioned there was an England development or an England camp.
That's right.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the players questioning, is that an advantage or a disadvantage? Are you coming hot, having had a very high level of training, or are you just a little tired because you've had a very high level of training? Dan Rigby, who was at the camp, has been looking really good for Leeds. Dylan looks on it as well. Yeah, it's looking to me like it's an advantage.
Well, there'll be a sharpness. I just spoke to that we have presence of Adam, Ryan and Craig from the England team here today, and you know, I've only just walked in myself an hour or so ago, but when you kind of just have a quick conversation with them about what have they seen so far and how was the camp yesterday, to your point, Nick, it's incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, across those 2 teams together, including the development squad, 16 players on show, and that's some 16 players. It's an embarrassment of riches to some degree. So going into such a big season, the Nations Cup in Italy in 2025, that's a huge thing for them to have a problem with, but also it's a lovely problem to have, isn't it?
And how shall I put this? Some interesting accents in the New England squad. some of whose accents might be north of Carlisle.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly say. But yes, that is very, very true. But of course we have in terms of the running game, we have a German.
Yes.
German accent now, which will come to the fore in our
He's actually going to turn up for some matches, is he? Watching there, the patience. Oh, well done. The patience Dylan had there before making his move onto the ball to play it to Chris, and it was probably an own goal there. I think
it was. Yeah, I think they'll go as no goal.
But it was the applied pressure that got the goal, wasn't it? So Middlesbrough making a sub. Pettigrew on, Renton off.
Very difficult for Middlesbrough to get any foothold in this, isn't it?
I mean, even that, just immediately Chris applies pressure. I mean, they did respond, but if in a way, if you try and do there what West Brom would do, which is hold the ball and then play it forward, if Middlesbrough tried that, I suspect West Brom would have been on them like a flash. And so you almost have to play it straight back. And of course, you then lose possession. So Inel on the pitch now for Gilbert. So West Brom, Rock's on as well for Gordon. So you got Inel on the right, Kelsall in the middle, Rock on the Inel on their left. Sorry, Rock. Start again. Rock on their right, Kelsall in the middle, Inel on the left, and in goal, Krista. There's only 2 in left and right, so how did I get that wrong 3 times? I think, you know, this is particularly where Goldsborough's experience comes to play, isn't it? She'll just keep plugging away with the players, trying to play the moves.
Of course she will.
Keep it calm.
Yeah, you've said already.
It's always the next play.
She gives that experience on the court, but then you've got Caroline and Paul that, almost despite the difficulty sometimes in terms of the, I mean, certainly where they see themselves in this game 3-0 down, but they don't shift from their coaching. Their coaching is always very consistent in terms of their learning experiences. But it does show the depth that West Brom have. You look at who's sitting on the bench right now, Chris, Brad. The fact that Dylan's gone from the wing into the centre. There's a lot of fluidity there, isn't there, that can be applied.
I thought that was a Middlesbrough ball. But anyway, linesman giving it to West Brom. West Brom retaining the territory and the positional pressure. So again, you know, it's good to see, despite being under the cosh, Middlesbrough are persisting with that high wing player.
Yeah.
You know, if they get it, they want to be able to break quick and transition. Again, Kelsall playing Gordon's role very quickly on to smother it in midfield and play the ball quickly. Brave ball to Krista. Kelsall to Inel. Crossing chance, but well intercepted by Found. Out for a kick in. Well read by Inel. Intercepted. Oh, he didn't. So the ref, Inel not far enough away from the kick there, 5 metres. Seemed a bit harsh, but Paul's a very experienced ref. Wouldn't argue with him. It's funny as well, isn't it? So as commentators, you might not know, but we're effectively sitting at player eye level, and it's much harder to judge distance down here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, from here it is. From the streams, that's probably quite obvious.
Yeah. So, chance for a set play. Ooh, very well intercepted by Inel. So, Middlesbrough's chance to put some pressure on West Brom, and it's immediately turned round on them. Middlesbrough kick deep on their own right side. 3 more or less behind the ball, behind the top of the box. Goldsborough's intercepted by Inel. I think he was trying to get it out to Rock, didn't quite get the angle. Well taken by Found, but pressure on by Kelsall. Finds Rock. Ref gives contact. Kind of wry shake of the head from Kelsall. Clearly disagrees with that.
Don't think he agreed with that, did he?
But got on with the game. Intercepted by Hanif, out for a kick.
highlighting what you just said, keeping somebody quite high and wide, just
gives an out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, just couldn't quite reach that.
So, Rock with the kick. Found on the ball. And half time.
It's flown by.
It has. I suppose it went well. No, it did go the way of form, quite clearly.
Yeah, definitely.
Middlesbrough finding it hard to break out.
They look comfortable, don't they? Very comfortable, West Brom.
Yeah.
So yes, on paper, many people would have predicted a certain way of result on this one, but they stick to their principles, don't they, Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
But it's tough from here. You just that fluidity we've touched on already, and undoubtedly we'll see more presence from Brad Bates and Chris Gordon in the second half. It's theirs to completely throw away here, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. Or a spectacular return from Middlesbrough.
Right, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with you for the second half. welcome back. So West Brom versus Middlesbrough. 3-0 to West Brom. Been very comfortable for them so far. We're restarting with Chris Gordon with a goalie's shirt on, which he didn't have in the first half. Kelsall, Gilbert and Bates for West Brom. Facing us in red, Hanif, found in yellow. Oh!
That's a goal.
It's a goal. Given by both lines people. Yep. Now, I think Chris is going to say that can't be a goal, because if it's a goal I had to leave the pitch, in which case he gets a card. But we went over the black line, there's no doubt. We're as close as you could possibly be.
And, you know, fair play. That's happened very early in the second half, in the first minute. But, you know, fair play. That's exactly the tonic they needed, wasn't it, Middlesbrough? They'll be over the moon with that. Just
going through their team. So it's found in yellow in goal, Hanif. Goldsborough on Middlesbrough's left facing us, and Renton on Middlesbrough's right facing us.
And actually that goal follows one of the golden rules of football that I'm amazed by how many people try and defy this. The ball moves quicker.
Yes.
Than a player, whether you are in a running version of the game or whether you are in a chair. And actually that goal took me right back to the World Cup final in Sydney, which we were both there to witness, sitting next to each other, Nick. It was a very pleasurable experience for me, and certainly my first international experience of parachair football, but very early in my tenure as well, and John Boulding's deflection, which then, very similar, trickling over that line, took me back to there.
It's the in the running game, when the keeper doesn't put his foot on the ball and turns around to chase it, and he's never catching it. So I'm not really expecting that to change anyone's play here. I expect Middlesbrough to be sticking to their kind of game plan, and same with West Brom. In fact, of all the teams, West Brom probably even a touch more than Aspire. Just never get fazed by a goal against them.
No, actually the response was interesting. So Chris was asking a question about the goal, which we both witnessed, but then three of them in very close proximity, just shrugging that one off, and then off they go again. I mean, what would be interesting is Middlesbrough managed to nick another goal.
Yeah.
Football's such a funny game, Nick, as we both know all too well. Doesn't matter what version of the football it is, you can dominate a game, and then all of a sudden it can start turning against you.
I'm still embittered by a game. It took place in Nottingham, 1988. I was at university. And we've beaten this team 7-0 and 6-0 in the league. Got to the quarterfinals of the Cup.
Dear.
Obviously that was a gimme.
Yeah.
Drew with them, so there was a replay. Now of course the draw was an aberration, therefore we definitely smashed them in the replay. We lost 0-1. Still gets me.
That is
40
football.
years later.
It's the beauty of football, that.
Yeah. Right. Back to this one.
Yeah.
I've gone into a dark place. Let's come back.
Stop reminiscing.
So, again, possessionally and territorially, West Brom back on top. Applying pressure, making it very difficult for Middlesbrough to find a way out. Lovely dummy there by Kelsall. Just gave him control of the ball and the space.
Half time in the other court, just about to start the second half. I think that's 2-0, isn't it, to Greenbank? And Marcus Harrod just came over to have a word with Greg Baxter, who's commentating on the other game, and I'm pretty sure he had a sneaky little peek about his old club here, West Brom. Just have a quick look across.
So on a few games we've commented on, we've always wondered about that, where the keeper takes the kick with a player behind them. So necessarily they've only got two in front. So it's a very defensive posture already, isn't it? You're limiting your out options, and the kind of attackers have to do much less work.
Yeah. Did well there, James Found. Competed against Brad Bates.
Yeah. Nice clear shout from Pearson there. Play on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that happened at the same time, didn't it? Both chairs. I think you'd call that fair and equitable.
Interestingly, this must have been the case. There's no one on the sidelines for West Brom in a coaching capacity, is there? Chris is on the pitch.
Yep.
And he'll be, goes to the subs bench when he's off, because his playing chair would be too big anyway to be on the sidelines. So the entire kind of guidance from the team coming from the wheelchair players.
Very good spot, Nick.
Of course, at the moment, we've got Goldsborough and Renton on for Middlesbrough. So 50-50 female-male split. Earlier on we had West Brom Throssels, where there were 3 ladies on the pitch.
Yeah, commonly the case with Throssels.
Yeah.
One of our strategic objectives, Nick, is to absolutely increase the female participation in the sport. Plans afoot to really, well, the thinking started, but to execute and get more girls and ladies involved in the sport.
That's interesting. So I don't know what the social research on this would say. Evidently, the success of the ladies' England running game team led to younger girls saying, "I'd like to play that game," and subsequently, kind of moving into that, amateur or professional. I wonder if ladies doing well in the running game influences young people who might be disabled but say, "Oh, I'd like to play football." That's something I wouldn't have thought of before. I mean, football of any form is for men, therefore I won't engage.
Yeah. Well, I think there's probably some element of that, isn't there? I think for us, first and foremost, you could argue this not just with the females involved in the game, but the awareness of the sport still needs to be into a certain place. We've made huge strides, I think, over the last 12 to 18 months, but the reality is there's still more work to do on that. So are we at a point where every parent, for example, would know that if their child is disabled and interested in playing football, there is an opportunity for them to play it via power chair football? If I'm honest, I don't think we are there yet, so there's still work to do on that, and it doesn't mean we can't focus and have attention on more female players coming into the game, but there's still work to do on both of those aspects. Halfway through the second half, I think Middlesbrough have performed really well in the second half.
Well, so they're leading the second half, aren't they? I mean, again, that would be a good tactical outcome, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
The coach would be really pleased to come out.
But I also think games like this, I mean, obviously they'll still have aspirations to get very close to West Brom and nick the next goal. The next goal, of course, in this cliche is beyond belief, but it's a vital goal.
Yeah.
But I think what it does enable you to do in games like this is to focus on your shape, defensive shape. and they seem to be doing that very well. There's a lot of instruction coming from both Kaz and Paul to make sure that they're focused on that.
They did have a torrid time against Leeds. I think it was 8 or 9-0.
Was that early this morning?
Early this morning.
7,
so when
Middlesbrough
kind of upset that. So I was scoring the match. To get it wrong. It's really
yeah, it's. I did see
sorry,
that.
Middlesbrough. Sorry, Leeds.
I did see that on the travelling down. They do say, don't they? Every defeat is a coaching opportunity. I got this slightly wrong, but I'm pretty sure on game week 1, Middlesbrough played Aspire and lost 3-1. So they would, you know, I think for these games for them, they're good measurement. I'm sure that was the result.
So, courtesy of the brand new WFA scoreline app, we'll
here
be able
we
to
go.
check that, won't we? So that was the
game week 1.
Can I do a team? I'm sure I can.
We're testing the durability.
Yeah,
of the app.
Middlesbrough Aspire.
There we go.
1-3.
My memory served me well. Who scored for Middlesbrough that day? Good save.
Oh. Own goal. So yeah, so it was John Dixon own goal.
Oh. They 4th for West Brom, which puts this to bed without any question. They've struggled a bit in the second half, haven't they? Middlesbrough, as we've talked about, have been defending very resolutely.
Yeah, particularly given Leeds' performance earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough start, isn't it, coming against Leeds and West Brom in the game week 2 on the first day. Goodness me.
Yeah, Greenbank doing very well on court A, 3-0 up against Nottinghamshire. So Alex and Jack, who are doing an astonishing job on the tech, tell me that in future we'll be able to show a sneak of match on court A on the stream in court B, and vice versa.
It's amazing, isn't it? I call them, as people would have seen on some of my social media posts, they're both called wizards to me. I don't even know how they're doing the stuff that they're doing, but they are two very, very important, as everyone knows, within our community, members of our team, and the work that's been done on the app recently is just extraordinary, and it's brilliant, isn't it? Because it not only, I think when I look at the response from the community about how that's enabling the community to keep up to date with stats and figures, from a commentary perspective, as you beautifully demonstrated, Nick, a few months ago, it's absolutely essential. But for new people watching the sport, you know, being engaging with the sport, having that kind of statistical information, it's brilliant, isn't it? Great piece of work, that.
And as they posted during the kind of gap between games, I think they're going to try some automated match reports this week.
Yes.
So
I've seen it. I've had a sneaky little peek of that, which again is using AI. Oh, great save!
Shot by Ollie Rock. Well saved by Hanif.
Yes, experience with AI, which is fantastic. I mean, the guys know that from an innovation point of view, they know my thoughts on, you know, window of opportunity we have to show innovation and bring it to the sport, and they are maximising that opportunity, which is brilliant.
as free-flowing, West Brom, are they?
No, maybe that's because we talked about fluidity, and they have a very strong bench, so they're able to use that full squad, particularly in a game like this. But it does disjoint as well, doesn't it? That some of your free-flowing approach is lost. Having said that, number 5 goes in. What do we know, Nick? We know nothing. Great finish by Rock, that. But it's taken them within the last 6 minutes of this half, really, to find any kind of momentum or rhythm in the second half. They clearly had that in the first half. But they won't care. 5-1 up.
Oh, just went past Goldsborough there, so went out from the kickoff back to West Brom. Substitutions. Inel on, Krista on, Bates off, Gordon off for West Brom. Currently on the pitch for Middlesbrough, found in goal in yellow. Hanif in front of him. Goldsborough currently in the middle as we're looking at, and Pettigrew right up front. Almost playing in a line top to bottom there, Middlesbrough briefly.
Yeah.
Ooh, kind of a. So that's perhaps an example, just a nudge more power there, and that might have come off the back of Krista and gone in, and that's where, in a way, these teams that are hitting it really hard, they're just creating an extra chance, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll call it random, but with the ball moving that fast, it gives them an extra something.
Yeah.
On top of all the other advantages. Oh, nice, unlucky. I think Pettigrew is looking for Goldsborough there. Intercepted by Inel. So Inel's reading, he's intercepting really well, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he was called up earlier for moving just before the kick was taken, but he's obviously got his eye in on the game and reading it. Rock off, Hanif all found, out for a corner. Just about 2 minutes left. I think the points are clear.
Yeah.
Just can Middlesbrough hold out? I can't see them making a break.
Yeah, Borough can feel a lot happier with the second half performance. You know, they've made it difficult, I think, for West Brom. It's just a bit extra quality in terms of that fluidity within that squad and bringing people on who want to come in, press and improve, and a couple of decent finishes in the second half.
Kelsall having a go towards goal, just misfired slightly. What was that? Ball moving?
No, there's nowhere that was 5 yards. Even I can see that.
Oh, yeah, so it like those players that just push the offside.
Yeah.
He's trying to read it, isn't he?
Yeah, there's no way that was.
But most of the time it's paying off for him because his
Yeah.
interceptions have been good.
He might be in that position of being eager to stake his claim.
Yeah. Perhaps. Oh, McNichol just takes it off Inel's bumper. Oh, I thought he touched it. Kick to West Brom.
Did you say McNichol then?
I did. Oh, sorry, Kath. Goldsborough.
It's so easily done, isn't it? Last few seconds. Is that Dylan being warned? Dylan Kelsall?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Not a time to get a yellow card, this one, Nick.
No. Clock close to 0 now.
Oh, he's getting a card now, maybe.
4. Is he counting them? Yeah.
That's two in very quick succession. He's got away with that.
Yeah.
Did a
So obviously the crowd not quite picking up what Paul's saying, or the crowd, the listeners on YouTube, he's given Dylan a couple of warnings there for his contact.
Yes.
But with no time left on the clock, if Dylan just backs off, he'll...
I was going to say, nothing
he'll
unwise
get
now.
away.
I think a third one in the next few seconds would result in a card.
Oh dear, misfire, and it's all over. So really a comprehensive win in the end, of 5-1. But in the context of teams chasing goal difference, I think they would have wanted a bit more out of that West Brom. Given Leeds' performances earlier today.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
A better half by Middlesbrough.
Definitely, definitely. They'll take
Sticking
some
to
heart.
the guns. Yeah.
Some heart from that, no question.
Now, who have we got next? The next game up on Court B. Will be Aspire versus Norwich City.
Okay.
So a team near the top and a team near the bottom.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us, Dean.
Pleasure, Nick. Absolute pleasure.
And we shall finish commentary here and we'll get ready for the next game.